Hello and welcome to Yoga with Glenn. I'm Glenn. Today I have a Mayflowers flow that will help us blossom into the summer. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hop into something comfortable, hop on your mat, and let's get started. We'll start today's practice from right here in Hero's Pose. Knees together, shins together, sitting on the heels, shoelace side of the foot on the ground. And with an inhale, we'll raise our arms up. And exhale, take a twist to your left. Place the right hand on the left knee, and the opposite arm behind you on the ground. With an inhale, turn your chin to the front shoulder. Exhale, chin to back. Inhale, bring our arms up, back up to the center, and twist to the opposite side. Opposite hand to the thigh. The other arm behind you. With an inhale, we'll look to the front, chin to front shoulder, and exhale, chin to back shoulder. Inhale, lift our arms up, and exhale, bring our hands to the ground, and we'll switch our feet, so we'll tuck our toes, and we'll sit on the heels. Then inhale, raise the arms up, and drop one arm. With the other arm, we'll take a lateral bend over to the side with an exhale. Inhale, come up back to center. And exhale, drop the other arm, switch arms. Inhale, grow long, and exhale, bend. So imagine like a plant in the wind, just blowing with the sound of our breath. Inhale, grow long, and exhale, bend over to the side. Inhale, back to center. Switch the arms, and exhale, bend. Inhale, back to center, and exhale, bend. Now still seated on the toes, bring your knees up off the ground while still balancing on the toes. Find your balance with your hands here, and as soon as you have your balance, bring your hands to heart center and slowly rise, staying on our tippy toes, rising up, blossoming, and exhale, hands back to heart center, and sink the thighs back down, pressing the knees together, and coming back down to the ground. Now I'll turn just so you can see the side profile, but come into table posture and bring the knees together, untuck the toes, shoelace side of the foot on the ground, and sit back on the feet. Now for this next part, I recommend a blanket or something under the knees if you have sensitive knees, because we'll be going through a little blossoming flow here. But bring the arms behind you, head on the ground into a modified child's pose. And with an inhale, we'll sit up on the shins, and we'll raise our arms up, connect the hands at the top for a back bend, sort of like a camel pose. And an exhale, sweep the arms back and sink back down into the child's pose. Do that a few more times. Inhale, all at the same time. Sweep the arms forward, come up on the shins. Back bend, we're looking up at the sky. And exhale, sweep the arms down, all the way back down. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, stand on the shins. Back bend, send the hips forward. And exhale, back down, folding up into child's pose. Inhale, rise, sweep the arms up, send the hips forward, back bend here, and exhale, back down. Last one, inhale, rise and bloom into a back bend, hips forward, and exhale, sink all the way back down. Now bring your hands in front of you, plant them on the ground. You can come up into table posture. Remove the props from under your knees if you have one. And we'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale for cow. Lift the chin, lift the chest. Tailbone rises. You can bend the elbows if you like. And exhale, release the toes. Tuck the tailbone, chin falls towards the chest. And we're sending our spine towards the ceiling. Inhale, cow, tucking the toes, lifting the chin and the chest. Back bend here. And exhale, cat pose. Spine towards the ceiling, chin towards the chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow once more. Exhale, one more cat. And come back to a neutral table posture. Now from here, we're going to open up the hips, and we're going to stay right here in table posture, and we're going to fire hydrant our left leg up and back down. With an inhale, lift as high as you can go without turning your whole body. And exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Now when you inhale and lift one more time, just try to focus on using that glute muscle and really opening up and stretching that hip. And exhale, down, and we'll switch sides. So opposite side this time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And last one, best one we got. Inhale, lift and hold. And we're just squeezing that glute. And exhale, back down. Now tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog, and walk towards the front of your mat. Step between the hands, feet about hip width apart. And we'll rise, circling our arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bringing the hands down to heart center. Now with an inhale, lift the hands up, look at the hands above you, slight back bend here, and dive straight forward into a standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back into high plank, and lower down, chaturanga dandasana, stick pose, and lower down all the way to your belly. This is the first one, so release the toes, legs together, ankles together, knees together, and we'll inhale for low cobra. Hands may float on the ground, off the ground, and exhale back down. You can either press up from here into high plank, or you can go into table posture. We'll go high plank, and then we'll press back into downward facing dog. Now look to the front of your mat again and walk towards the front into an inhale with a halfway lift and an exhale, fold, and inhale, rise, circle the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, lift the hands, still connected, a little bit deeper of a back bend, and exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands on the mat. Step back into high plank. Chaturanga vinyasa this time. So we'll lower down, flip the toes, flow through, and it's either an upward facing dog or it's a high cobra. Either way, meet me back in downward facing dog. And we'll walk towards the front of our mat here. Inhaling into a halfway lift, exhaling into a forward fold, And inhaling to rise, circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bringing our hands down to heart center. One more, we'll lift our hands up, deepest back bend here, and exhale, dive, forward, forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold, and plant the hands, step back into high plank, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga vinyasa. I'm doing an upward dog. You can do a high cobra or a low cobra, whatever's in your practice. Flipping the toes and ending up in downward dog. Now look towards the front of your mat and walk in between the hands once more. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold, and inhale, rise, circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bringing the hands down to heart center. Now step your left foot back and set yourself up for warrior one. Hips square, pointed straight ahead, slight bend in the front knee. The back toes, the heel remains on the ground, but the back toes can come out about 30, 45 degrees, whatever's mostly comfortable, but make sure your stance is wide enough so you're not tight roping, not having your legs too close together. Warrior one, arms up, proper warrior one. And exhale, lower the hands down and take a bind with the hands behind the back. If you can't get here, that's completely okay. I recommend grabbing a yoga strap or just a belt you may have and just bring that belt with your hands like this. That way you can pull against something. But if you're able to take a bind with the hands, inhale, grow long, and exhale, fold into a humble warrior one with our arms hopefully pointed straight up in the air. We'll take a few breaths here. After an exhale, inhale, and the strength of the arms takes you up. And when the hands touch the hips, lift the arms and exhale, fold into your warrior one and float the back leg off the ground into a standing split. And we'll exhale and we'll bend the front knee and bring the back knee touches the back of the front knee. And inhale into standing split. Exhale, this is called a Shiva squat. Inhale, standing split. And exhale, Shiva squat. And inhale, standing split. And stay here for a second. I'm going to back up for this next part. Well, hopefully you have room in front of you. And if you do, try and float the hands off the ground into warrior three. You can have your arms out to a T. You can have your hands at heart center, while keeping your balance. Or you can have your arms out straight ahead. I don't have room for that here with this window, but with an exhale, drop the back toes back into warrior one. Lift the arms up, step forward, hands to heart center. And inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward folds. Plant the hands on the mat. Step back into high plank. Shift forward, lower down, chaturanga vinyasa. Flow through back bend of your choice and end up into downward facing dog. Now lift the left leg for a three-legged dog and take a half step forward, not quite between your hands, but still enough. Set yourself up for warrior one with the opposite leg forward. And when you're ready, inhale, rise, arms up, warrior one. And exhale, take that bind behind the back again. And if you're able to interlock your fingers, take the opposite stack of the fingers this time. Or if you're using a belt or a strap, just grab it on that belt or strap, same as you did last time. And inhale, grow long. And an exhale,
Fold forward over the front knee, humble warrior one with the arms pointed straight up. A few breaths here. After an exhale and inhale, the strength of the arms takes you up. As soon as the hands touch the hips, release, arms come up, and forward fold over the front knee, and float the back leg off the ground into standing splits. And exhale, Shiva squat. One knee touches the back of the other. Inhale, rise, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squats. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. And inhale into a standing splits. And if you're able to, float the hands off the earth. The hands can come to heart center, come out to a T, or they can come straight up in front of you for warrior three. And exhale, lean back, plant the toes, step forward into Tadasana with the feet hip width apart. Inhale, rise, back bend, and exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Step back into high plank, shift forward, lower down, Chaturanga Vinyasa. And exhale, back into downward facing dog. Come into a table posture, knees wide, big toes to touch, and sink back into the child's pose. And just take a few breaths here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth if you need to release some hot air. After your next exhale, inhale back up to table posture. Tuck the toes, press back into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg in the air. Step the foot between the hands. Back foot follows. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And inhale, rise. Circling the arms up while bringing the left leg in the air at the same time. Hands come to heart center. And the right hand comes on the lifted leg. Left hand comes back. And finally, the eyes follow it while keeping your balance. Inhale. Inhale, sweep the left arm by the left hip. Rise, plant the foot, and dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And inhale, rise, circling the arms up. Right knee comes up at the same time. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Same thing, opposite side here. Left hand comes on the right thigh, outside of the right thigh. Right hand swims back for a twist, and the eyes follow. And with an inhale, we'll release. Right arm sweeps up by the right leg, plant the foot, and dive forward. Forward fold. I'm just going to scoot back just a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. And inhale, rise, circling the arms up. Left leg follows, hands down to heart center, and open up the hip for tree pose. I'll turn so you can see here. Now you can take various mudras. You can keep your hands at heart center, or open up your arms, and theme with today's practice, blossoming. We'll spread the fingers, bring a little action to them. Bring your hands back to heart center. Turn the knee forward, straighten the leg, and lift, and set down. Inhale, circle the arms up, and exhale, swan dive. Forward folds. Inhale, halfway lifts, and exhale, fold. And inhale, rise,
rising the right leg, raising the arms above the head, and hands down to heart center. Now open up for a tree pose again. Our foot, against our leg, not on our knee, but either above the knee, below the knee on the calf, or we can have a little kickstand. But wherever the foot comes naturally, muscle energy in the opposite thigh. And we're pressing this hip back, but not rotating the body. And again, we can come up, spread our arms, spread our fingers for tree pose, blossom into our beautiful tree. And bring our hands down to heart center. Turn the knee forward, straighten the leg, lift from the hip, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. I'm going to turn again, plant the hands, step back into high plank, shift forward, lower down, flip the toes, back bend of your choice, chaturanga vinyasa, and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, send that through between the hands. High lunge, rise up, and warrior two, open up. And with an inhale, reverse warrior. You can take a bind behind the back like I am, or you can have it down here on the knee, your hand. And exhale into extended side angle. Palm towards the ground, bicep by the ear. And if you're resting your forearm on your thigh, you can give a little press and open up across the chest here. Inhale for reverse triangle, straighten the front leg. And bend that front leg, swim the arms down, plant the hands, keep the left hand planted firm. And with the right hand, open up for a high lunge with a twist. And exhale, hand comes back down. Three-legged dog with the right leg, and shift forward, lower down. Chaturanga vinyasa. Flow through, meet me in downward facing dog. And when you're there, left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that through the hands. High lunge, rise up. Warrior two, open up. Inhale for reverse warrior. Exhale for extended side angle. Inhale for reverse triangle, straighten that front leg. Rebend that front leg, windmill the arms down. Flip the back foot, right hand firm on the ground. Open up for that twist. And exhale, back down. Three-legged dog with the left leg. And lower down, chaturanga vinyasa. Flow through, meet me in downward facing dog. Move into high plank and lower all the way down to your belly. Release the toe, shoelace side of the foot on the ground. Inhale for low cobra. And exhale, back down. Low cobra, bend the right knee. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bend the left. Exhale, down. Inhale, bend both knees, keeping the ankles and knees together. And exhale, down. Now bend the knees, lift the chest and chin like you would for low cobra, but extend our arms back, and if you can, grab your ankles, flex the ankles, and with an inhale, we'll lift up into bow pose. Exhale, forehead back to the ground, still holding on to the ankles. Inhale one more time for bow pose. Try to get the thighs off the ground. And exhale down. Release the ankles. Hands come back to the front under the shoulders. Push up into table posture. Have the knees wide, big toes to touch, and sink back into child's pose. Now if your shoulders are feeling taxed, you can plant the elbows on the ground
Bend the arms. And with prayer hands, you can have the thumbs touching the back of the neck. We'll just take a few breaths here. After your next exhale, inhale, bring the palms back on the ground. Come up for table posture. Swing the legs around and take a seat. And for this next one, if you have a blanket, I recommend sitting on a blanket. Maybe bring your back close to a wall. This pose is called Vikasita Kamalasana, or blossoming lotus pose, with a Gyan mudra. And I'll show you what that looks like. That's touching the index and thumb finger with the 3 fingers spread. Now for blossoming lotus pose, you can have your back pretty close to the wall, but I recommend trying it just a little bit away from the wall, but having something to catch you if you fall back. So bring your arms, first of all, bring your feet into touch. Bring your arms inside of your thighs. Hook one arm under your calf and bring that up. Now set that one down. Take the other arm under the other calf. Raise that up just to see how that feels, and set that down. Now, with your heels touching, bring one up. Try to do this as gracefully as possible. Bring the other up in that Gyan mudra with our heels touching, and this is blossoming lotus pose, Vikasita Kamalasana. Remember to breathe while you're in this posture. You're using your core to keep yourself upright, balancing on the sit bones. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. Go ahead and release that. Bring the feet back to the ground. Release the arms and come off of your prop. Now send your legs out wide and tuck the right leg in. Touch the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Foot pointed straight up and down. And this thigh as close to the ground as you can get it. Inhale, raise the arms up. Take a twist over the extended leg. And exhale, fold forward. And whatever your arms touch first, your hands touch first, just take a hold onto that, either your ankle, your shin, your foot, whatever you grab first. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale, rebend, walking your hands forward. Inhale, lift the chest and chin. And exhale, rebend, walking them forward. And if you're already grabbing the bottom of your foot, you can take the right hand and grab the outside of the left foot. Feel a nice stretch in the side body here. Just another few breaths in this posture. Remember to breathe your way through it. Your body will naturally sink down further and further. After your next exhale, inhale, slowly walk your hands back up. Take your right arm to the ground behind your right hip. Plant the right knee on the ground. Extend the hips. Swim the left arm overhead, bicep by the ear, and looking at the palm overhead. And exhale, swim it back down. Extend the opposite leg. Fold the left leg in. This is my left leg. Look like your right leg. Again, my right would be your left. Action in the foot so the toes are pointed straight up. Inhale, raise the arms up. Twist. And fold over the opposite leg. Again, whatever you grabbed onto first, Just keep hold of it. With an inhale, we'll lift the chest, lift the chin, grow long. And exhale, fold again. Walk the hands forward just a little bit. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale, round forward and walk the hands forward. Now again, if you're on the bottom of your foot, you can take the opposite arm, bring on the outside of the foot, and feel a nice stretch in the side body here. Just a few more breaths in this posture. After an exhale, inhale, and slowly walk your hands up. Plant the hand, your right hand behind the hip. Press the hips forward, swing the opposite arm overhead, bicep by the ear, and looking at the hand overhead. I'm out of room right here, but. And exhale, hips back to the ground. Spin to where you're on the correct way on your mat if you're not there already. Slowly roll down onto your back. Bring your knees with you. Just give your knees a nice hug. Thighs pressing against the belly. You can rock side to side. Maybe massage the lower back on the mat. And wherever you're satisfied with that, just wrap the hands around the shins. Tuck the chin and start to roll back and forth. You may rock so far forward your feet touch. Maybe so far back the back of your neck touches. Try to gain enough momentum so we can roll forward all the way into a standing forward fold. Now, if you're not sure what that looks like, I'll demonstrate for you. Just like that. Or if you're not able to do that, just make your way into a forward fold, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. I'm going to turn towards you. And exhale, fold. And inhale, rise. Again, circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bring the hands down to heart center. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in this yoga flow today. It was a lot of fun for me. I hope you had a lot of fun. And if you did, let me know how it went for you down in the comments below. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.